Hi everyone, Rochelle Garrison-Cocomello here. Welcome to part 1 of 2 of my homeschool planning series. I know a lot of people are considering homeschooling this year or who have just started for the first time, or maybe you're even a seasoned homeschooler. This, for us, we're going into our 5th year of homeschooling. From what I've learned that we need flexibility to go with the flow. And we also need structure though, just to prevent overwhelm, especially for myself, and actually to be more productive, to be honest, because I found in the past, if we don't plan, we don't get enough done. So we really need to know where we're going in order to be able to get there, if that makes sense. So I plan in 2 parts. First, I plan digitally, and then I move to paper. The digital planning part for me is really simply to flesh out all of the curriculum and resources I want to use, and then I create a weekly schedule. And I need that framework to get started before I start diving into deeper planning. And I just do this using a word processing program. So you could use Word, Google Docs. I just use Pages on my Mac, and that way it's editable as you go. So you can, add, remove, etc., while you're still making decisions. So then all of my deeper planning, that will go into a paper format in a planner. Now I'll go over that in part 2 of this video, but for now I will show you digitally just how I get started. So I'm going to screen share on my Mac with you so you can see how I do that.
So for the first part of this document, all I do is I create a table. Now I list my kids' names and I list all of the subjects that I'm going to be teaching them. Here is where I list any homeschool resources / curriculum I want to use. Now this is going to change still. Like, we're about a month away from starting school, and probably half of it I've decided on and ordered, but there's still a bunch that will change, and some things we just don't know yet. Like, for example, our personal development with sports, we don't know what days, when, what's happening yet. So it's subject to change, and it's no problem because it's so easy to do it. Also, you'll notice in French, I don't have anything listed here but our tutor. That's because we hire a French teacher, and she picks all the curriculum. It's fantastic. So I've completely outsourced it. And then my husband does all the French homework with it, but she plans all the lesson plans, etc. And Gino does this with the kids in the evening, so I didn't have to source anything here. One thing you'll notice throughout this document is often there are the same curriculum listed for both kids, and that's because if your kids are less than 3 years apart, you can teach them using the same curriculum level for science and social studies, which I've done throughout here, not everywhere, but a lot of it's going to be the same. Math and language arts are a different story because kids develop so differently here at different rates. Now I'll create another video once I've solidified what we've chosen and just go over exactly what curriculum we're going to use and why. But for now, this is what it looks like, and it can change as we need it to change. So page 2 of this document is simply a schedule. Now, before I get into this, I wanted to preface this with people are way more scheduled than me, and other people are way less scheduled than me. And it just depends on what works best for your family, and that's what's going to be best for you. Just don't feel like you have to do this. It might look overwhelming, like too much. It might look like not enough for you. You just have to figure out, what works best. But I will go into a bit of detail here because I'm the kind of person who likes to know why people have things planned out a certain way, but I'll try to keep it pretty concise and short, just so you get an idea of truly what a homeschool week looks like in theory anyways. So first thing you'll notice is that I don't have a Sunday on here. I might even take off the Saturday, but we have some sports often on Saturday, so I did leave it there. Sunday I'd like to generally keep for a family day. We'll see. But here's what it generally looks like Monday to Friday. Also, I wanted to mention this is the most scheduled we've ever been because Elika was in kindergarten and I don't have to report for her until grade 1 here in Quebec. But this year is the year I have 2 kids I'm reporting for. So I just wanted to be more structured with flexibility, yes, but I wanted to have that framework of here's what I need to get done, what I want to get done. So 6 o'clock, I get up, journal, I plan my day breakfast. Plan my day for me just looks like a dollar store notebook, and I list out everything on my to-do list. Never does more than half of that get done ever, but I feel good just having it written down, and then I won't forget anything. I take a half an hour for yoga. Then I do laundry and dishes. I prefer to do dishes in the morning, just a morning person. 7:30, kids wake up, we have breakfast, and we do read alouds. So my kids learn fantastically through literature-based learning. That works really well for us. I love to teach that way, so it's a win-win. So what I will do is when we're having meals, or at least breakfast and lunch, I will read to them out loud. Now, these are often our novels for language arts or their historical fiction for social studies, etc. But the kids enjoy it. I have their undivided attention. We're killing two birds with one stone because we're getting part of our curriculum done while they're eating. So 8 o'clock, then we'll all get dressed, brush teeth, make beds, put clothes away, and I will shower. The kids shower in the evening generally, so this will just be for me. Next, we have kids' chores and cleaning loop. Now, this is the first time I've scheduled like chores this early in the morning, so we'll see how that works. We might bump it somewhere else if it doesn't. But we're going to try it here. And my cleaning loop, if you're not familiar with the cleaning loop, I have it started down here. I haven't even finished it yet. But essentially, if you have more items on your, that you want to get done than days of the week, you make a loop. So essentially how this would work, for example, so I would clean this on Monday, then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Well, then Monday starts again here. So then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And essentially what happens is you might not get everything done as quickly as you want to get done, but it all gets done. So you're keeping up with it as best you can. And things like this too, like the main floor vacuum and mop, I'll have the kids spot vacuum and mop throughout the week for their chores. But when I want like a good full clean, I feel like I have to schedule that in. And so that will happen in this time block, or like I said, we'll move it. Next up, we officially start our school day, which is at 9 o'clock in the morning. Now I've got an hour for language arts. I'm teaching 2 kids here, 2 different curriculums. So to make that as efficient as possible, what I will do is I will give one kid independent work while the other child I teach the lesson to. So for example, I will give Kaio handwriting and phonics because he can do that on his own pretty much. And then I will teach Elika her lesson, her grammar lesson. Then when she's done, she will do handwriting and phonics, and I will teach Kaio his grammar lesson. 10 o'clock, snack, change laundry, makeup and hair. Now, makeup and hair is only if we're going anywhere. Oftentimes we're not. So that's homeschool life. It's nice. You can have a mum bun and barefaced most of the time. 10:30, we're going to do our math. Again, this is the same as before. 2 kids, 2 separate curriculum levels. So I'll split that up as much as I can. 11:30, we'll break for lunch. We'll do more read alouds. And then we will do kitchen tidy with kids. I have not been good enough at getting them involved regularly with kitchen tidy, and I think that needs to become a good habit, which will just really serve them better in the future. So at 12:30, we'll move into social studies, and I put this here because we will often read our historical fiction here, which is part of our social studies curriculum. We tend to do social studies through literature-based learning. So I only scheduled a half an hour here since so much of it is based on books. There will be some table work, geography, etc. So I did still want that scheduled, but we didn't need as big of a time block for that reason. Next, we'll move into science. I do have a bigger time block here because activities and experiments do take a bit more time. I also put our outdoor time immediately afterwards because we are doing some nature-based units, which we'll be outside for. And if those go long, then we're already outside and we can just not have to worry too much about stopping to move on to something else. Our outdoor block, this will be free time for the kids, and this is when I will do my outdoor chores, which I love. So this is mowing the lawn, weed whacking, leaf blowing, shoveling snow, etc. 3 o'clock is snack time, free time for the kids, and I'm going to Insta story. So I did schedule this. I work on social media, so I do need a little bit of that time block. And before, I'd always try to squeeze it in here and there, and I found it was a time suck. So this way, I have it scheduled so I can be more present and not try to multitask. Quiet time is at 3:30. Now this we've been doing for the last couple of weeks, and it's amazing, let me tell you. My rule is they just have to stay in their rooms for an hour and be quiet. That's it. There's no expectation to rest or to read. If they want to, they can, but they can play quietly. I'm fine with that, but we need this recharge. I start to lose my patience, run out of patience this time of the day, it's a great reset for me. I lie down and read or something in my room too. I make myself also rest. And they, just by having that separation, they come back recharged and they get along better, I notice, if we have this quiet time. So I've incorporated that. So once we're rested, we're going to do a creativity block. We'll do art, a composer study. This is where we generally just focus on a specific composer. We listen to their music. We may read a story about them. And while we're listening to the music, we'll do some other artwork, maybe paint or draw, etc. A picture study, which is when we focus on a specific artist. We will look at their work. It's mostly art appreciation, maybe a little bit of art history. And then on Thursdays, we're going to bake or cook. Now, this we've been doing a little bit, not scheduled, but just the last couple of weeks. And I'm basically just letting the kids each pick any recipe they like. I buy the ingredients on the weekend, and then we bake or cook it. And I try to let them have as much autonomy in the kitchen as possible, though I tend to hover. And they are delighted. They're so excited to be able to do this, and it's giving them a life skill at the same time. Then next up is dinner prep and dinner. This may change because I don't know when our soccer and dance schedule, what it's going to be like for the fall. If things are at 6 o'clock, things are going to have to move around, but that's okay. I did just want to quickly show you Friday too. Fridays are a bit different. We do have our French tutor. Again, I'm not sure what time this is going to be at, but it'll be an hour for each kid. It used to be in our French teacher's home, but since the state of the world, what it's like now, we've been doing it over a Zoom call. So I think we're going to stick with that because I just won't have to leave the house during winter. Then we'll do our lunch, read aloud, kitchen tidy. And then I've left Friday afternoon open. So field trip, play date, errands. If I can fit in dentist appointments here or what have you, perfect. If not, if we have a dentist appointment we can only go to on Wednesday, well, I can just shift things around. And this is the nice thing about the flexibility aspect. It doesn't really matter if it ends up looking exactly like this every day. It just gives us an idea. So that's my schedule. These are my resources, and I will show you once this is all completed what this looks like in a paper planner in my next video.